All right, we're back now to the Masterminds podcast, episode 6, part B. And in the building, I still have Mr. Beno and Webby, the president of the University College of the Health Sciences, UNICOS. Yes. And we're still discussing COVID-19. Yeah, guys. So, as we said, we discussed briefly about the history and all that shit. The intentions those niggas had about this shit. And now we want to talk about the Zambian press briefing that the Minister of Health just gave this morning. Is it afternoon or morning? That was morning, right?
It was in the morning.
That was in the morning. Yeah, somewhere 10 to somewhere there. So he raised some points that were questionable, and then some were good points. So I'm going to start with the school point. The president of the University College of Health Sciences, Mr. Webby, you briefly touched on how the students have taken it. Some are happy, some are sad. But do you think it's a good idea for the schools to be closed down? Just give your views about that.
For the schools to be closed down, I think it's also a good idea. What we're trying to do now, we're trying to prevent the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Actually, if so far there are no cases that are reported here in Zambia. But then these are preventive measures that I have put in place so that even if we couldn't, a lot of people are not going to be affected.
Yeah.
And then these are bigger, we are talking about institutions. That's where most youths are, and
gathered.
A lot of them are gathered. And then I believe the Ministry of Health are saying gathering more than 50 people, those they should be banned. So that we can prevent the coronavirus. But then...
Okay, so like you have said, in short, to say it's a good thing what they've done. Mr. Bino Munkompa, they've banned schools.
Yeah.
But they have not banned churches.
Yeah.
And let's
clubs,
talk about clubs.
Clubs.
And so this guy has just spoken about education and whatever school. Now I want to talk about, is it a good thing they've closed down schools?
For me, it's not really a good thing. It being that Zambia hasn't recorded no shit about the coronavirus.
But it's a preventive measure.
Yeah, quite right. It might be a preventive measure. But the only time we can get this virus is it comes in the country through somebody that already has the virus. But as it stands,
nobody has
the virus. They would have kept it to say.
But I still feel I'm not going to agree with you right now. I feel I'm going to agree with this guy.
Exactly.
Because the thing is that let me speak. The thing is that we are putting in preventive measures, right? Mm-hmm. So now if you are saying we start putting extreme measures when a case is recorded, that just might be too late. That might be too late.
That's bad.
Because let's look at Zambia. Zambia has got no resources to fight that shit.
Exactly.
Not only Zambia, Africa at large.
Yes. Look at these other countries. I'm told if it's not Italy where they recorded
300 and something
per day, and now
on a day.
if it were to go,
Italy is doing far much
Zambia right now as we're talking. Italy is far much better than Zambia. Then if it were to reach Zambia, definitely would even say maybe. I don't know, maybe 1,000 people a day would be done. If we're trying to put the preventive measures when the case is already in, then we will fail to prevent.
Quite right, Mr. President. We are talking from a background where I believe you are an environmental technologist.
Exactly.
In study and stuff. You cannot put up... Okay, quite right, the preventive measures are just okay. But how then is the virus contacted or contracted?
Yes. The virus is contracted through it's
an exposure, right?
An exposure, exactly.
From somebody that is already having the virus.
Exactly. And when you have droplets, right? When somebody sneezes and then you
get the droplets and then you touch your mouth and all that shit.
But then we're not talking about how is it contracted? We're talking about the preventive measures. What are the measures that Zambia has put in place for us to prevent?
We're talking about let's do this. I think the idea here is, let's just agree. I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not. Let's take, for instance, I'm a student, right? Yeah. I'm at the University College of... let's say I'm at ONZA or whatever. Then I receive a visitor, let's say from Italy. They just come in. Zambian borders are still open. I receive a visitor coming from the highly exposed countries and all that. I get exposed, I contract that disease. And then I go in my room at the boarding house. I spread the disease amongst my friends who are in different classes. Then those people go in the classes, expose the disease in those classes, people are going to get affected in the school, which means we are going to affect a lot of people at once. I think that's where the idea is coming from. Exactly. We might not know when the disease might come. It might come tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I am still not going to agree with you guys. Gentlemen, let's look at this the way it is. The origin of this disease is in China. Mm-hmm. But let's go back to China. Are these universities and colleges in China being shut?
Yeah,
no.
They are.
The only measure they put is those students inside those schools are not allowed to move out of the schools.
Mr. Bino, now on that one, I'm getting worried. Remember, this is Zambia and China. This is why it was originated, and most of the things that have been closed. Then if America, they're even affected. This is a viral disease that is spreading so fast. It is very fast. Actually,
if you accept
you cannot
that,
even control.
All right, guys, we do not have a lot of time to deal on one point, so let's just accept the. Let's respect each other's point. I'm not agreeing with you. You're not agreeing with me.
We're moving. Kelvin,
so,
but here's the point. The government bans and shuts down schools, and yet leaves a club open,
which is wrong.
A nightclub open.
That's wrong.
So now
shutting down schools is a good thing. But what you would have done is shutting down all meeting places where people more than 50 people. Yeah, exactly. But clubs are still open.
There's a notion.
He said 50. No, those gatherings that are requiring more than 50.
But
people,
even in church,
also they should be banned.
Even in church, we're more than 50 at times.
The churches
almost.
He said, if you read, if you've seen what he wrote there, he said even churches, those gatherings, big gatherings. I believe also the
okay. If I
think that bans are not included on this one, let's just be honestly.
That's wrong. Okay, listen. Let's talk about this. I heard him properly when I was watching. He was like, "We thank the church for working with us by minimizing gathering time." So, which means if a church was meeting for 4 hours, they reduced to 2 hours. If they are meeting for 2 hours, they're meeting for an hour or so. You know what I mean? And then bringing in hand washing facilities, hand sanitizers, but still, that's still dangerous.
That's still dangerous, yo. Even in 1 hour, somebody will be able to contract the virus.
In 5 minutes, someone can contract the virus.
Will be there.
So now that the church has not done shit, let's just agree that the church,
the bar and stuff. So for me, everything. The government, it closing school. That's why I'm saying I'm not part of that shit. It's not making really any sense.
Unless if they had to ban everything, shut down everything.
Because there's a notion, you bring me out of school, you take me to the street. There's no money in the communities. Government won't give me no shit to do. The next thing that I'll be doing is what? Stealing, going to the club and drink. And there I will meet so many people.
And on that one, that is the most risky place where everyone can contact.
At the bar, because there's no order.
When somebody is drunk, they talk they talk shit. They will even come near you and talk. No,
they're spitting and all that shit.
All
right. So anyway, I want you to give in some preventive measures that you feel can help out, and then let's give solutions to the government. What do you think they would have done?
For now, I would think the first thing the government would do is close down bars, nightclubs per se. Because in a nightclub, if you go to Django today, you find there's a lot of people at 24 hours.
Yeah,
close to 300. There's nothing like even a space where you can walk freely.
And there's no one to control.
And there's nobody to control. So I think the government should close down everything. The bars, the border posts, because the borders are still open. People are coming.
And then do you know one thing I want them to do? I feel like one of the most prone and dangerous places where people are going to get this disease, if at all it was to come in Zambia, God forbid, I feel, especially in Lusaka, I feel in buses, minibuses.
Yes, minibuses.
Especially minibuses. You know what I feel the solution could be? I know that's a problem I've just raised, but I feel the solution could be the government should supply a sprayer, a disinfectant sprayer to each and every bus, whereby every passenger that enters the bus is sprayed.
I think that would work.
And then, or maybe if people enter the bus, then maybe they spray at the entrance point, the entry point, or when they enter. But I feel it can be good. A person is sprayed at the entry point. Each and every bus must be. It's either they buy, each and every bus purchases, or the government supplies those. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's also a good idea. But then let's not run away from the fact that Zambia is a landlocked country. and exactly where the most, the route of entry is going to be through the borders.
The borders,
It
yes.
might not be...
But now I'm talking about when it comes to Zambia, like how it's going to spread.
Exactly. But then before it comes in Zambia, the most preventive measures that you have to put is to prevent from borders. The route of entry. These people that are coming in Zambia.
Yes.
Whether they are our own citizens and the like, because our own citizens are the people that are even going to bring the same
Going there,
disease.
those businessmen and women and
Yes,
shit.
they're out there, they've allowed them to come back here. But then we've said foreigners, they've reduced the foreigners not to come. But then
But the same
our own
Zambians are
citizens,
going
they've
out
allowed them
in
to
and out.
come, and then they'll be given, they'll be quarantined for
14 days.
14 days, it's just 2 weeks.
And now how many people are going to
14
be
days.
quarantined? That's not even going to work.
And
So,
exactly. And if we research more, we will find out that you can contact through even just these
clothes and shit.
these clothes, even the clothes and other stuffs. When you just touch with your hand, and then also
Because it survives on the surface
touch your
for 2
mouth
days or 3.
and your eyes. Exactly.
So that's
it can survive, because once you contact that, you find that it will be on your throat for about 4 days. Here, it will be on your throat. Yeah, you have sores and the like. So even on the preventive measures, before we come to the treatment, because we've not yet found out the treatment, our issue and area of interest is on the preventive measures.
Yes. So now, that's one of the preventive measures, and you've said. So let's just get done with Corona, because this
but before
this topic is just
we move away from that topic, there's something the minister left out that we were supposed to do. The students, you've asked minister to go back to their homes after the schools are closed down on Friday. I think you should best provide transport. You can call Zambia Army and Zambia Police with their buses start transporting people back to their various
How many people
homes.
do you
Because
think?
these guys got no money in schools.
Hey.
People are broke. You don't expect them to just move and go on foot. Find the money, and transport them back.
The owns us with 15,000 students.
Exactly. How much? Okay.
Listen.
Let's do this. Concerning the
Bro.
I hate. Though it's
This is a
Should
government.
they make some contributions or so?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I hate that there's a 50,000. So is it the 50,000 that has
I
been
don't know
reserved?
about whatever.
I don't know about it, but I've just been hearing. Actually, that has been reserved for the same disease, coronavirus.
50,000 is not
which
enough.
is nothing.
That's for 3 people, bro.
It's nothing.
Yeah, that's
And then you're
50,000
telling
is
them
for
to
3
say,
people.
No, they should provide
It's
transport for
10,000
these
per
guys.
person, bro. That's
It's
for
also
5
their
people,
own
actually.
benefit.
No, but
Remember,
anyway,
you I believe
let's
you're
just
an
cut-
HAT,
let's-
bro, you're an EHT and you're also an EHT. And you've learned about preventive measures. And these
Now we've already
things are
discussed
in your
preventive
circle.
measures. Now my point is that he was talking about transportation. But now, okay, it's in as much as it is a good idea to transport those students, I don't think Zambia has the resources to do that. Zambia is a fucking broke nation.
yeah,
bro.
I mean, dude, we
But and then
we're broke,
I know your point is that
where the
it's
fuck-
not their point. It's
where-
not their fault.
Yeah, where the fuck are they going to get money? Parents right now don't have money. Zambia is
I
broke,
know,
yo.
man.
Somebody just paid the boarding house fees and stuff.
Yes,
then you
I
tell
did,
them
yeah.
to fucking
Today, yeah.
fucking go back home, man.
Now,
Where are they
that's
going to
why-
fucking
that's
get
why
the money?
problem is the other people that have paid for the whole semester and they've been told to go. This is we're just on the middle of the semester, right?
Yeah, man.
I believe we're on the middle.
Maybe,
of the
yes,
semester.
it's only 3 months. bro. It's only been like 2 months or
And
so.
then the thing
Yeah,
is,
it's only been 2
others have
months.
already paid for the whole semesters, and others are paying 12,000 for the whole semester. That's 15,000, and then they've been told to go. When they come back, they'll be required again to pay again for the semester.
Nah,
Not
man.
to finish the semester. That's what's happening. And those are the things that are
Landonsanga kupwezere boy. Once wampasa nzakupasa.
So so I think just stay at the same boarding house, stay there for the rest of
Yeah,
whatever
just stay for the rest of the term, yo.
until you're called back at school.
Uromunza mwewe when kunkara che boy.
But time is really running so fast today. I don't know why. So I think we'll be forced to enter into into part C for the first time. We've never done part C before.
Yeah, this
But I
is
think
the biggest broadcast show.
it's gonna be the longest podcast. You know what I mean? So let's do part C. So don't run away. We're still discussing more topics. So in the next phase, we're gonna discuss the Build 10, and we're gonna discuss Zambia music and other entertainment news. We out. KCZ.